Hi everyone. Today is a particular day. A family member, not immediate one, passed away, and I was at the funeral. Funerals have never been very easy for me, but recently, since I moved back home, reconnecting with the family after 20 years away, it made me feel like these challenges and these hard times are better processed when you are with your loved ones around. Recently, in the past 2, 3 years, I've gone through a lot of inner work, and it makes me think a bit more about life and question and wonder about the way we live. I've made a choice to just live and do something about my life that it feels it's worthy, that it gives some value add to people who need it the most, and that is also at work. This is why I've had hard time readjusting even after my PhD in organizational leadership to jobs that you don't find many managers who really care about their people and who really care about the value add. And I'm not saying it's a management title type of issue. I think it's about the people and what they live for and the systems they live in. Many people go to work and just wait for a salary, and I don't blame them. They have expenses. For me, it's more than that. I always felt like I go to work and I bring my best there. It's part of my life. It's a lot of hours of my day that I'm spending there. So for me, it's never been just work. It's always been about what value add can we create and how can we do things better together and care about each other as human beings to begin with. Now, this is sounding like foreign language to our modern world because it feels like we're still in an industrial era when it comes to organizational culture, and that was my thesis. There is a lack of proper leadership, servant type of leadership, and human beings not feeling fulfilled or valued and appreciated at work. And this is somehow an emergency, I would say, because many people nowadays are awakening. They are looking for meaning and for well-being in their lives, and not many people, especially the younger generation, is willing to deal with the toxicity and with the lack of well-being at work or work-life balance. I lived many years in US, and maybe the rhythm there and lack of work-life balance was a bit more. I was lucky to have a good job that didn't really pressure me when it comes to that, but many colleagues and many other people I've met, even coming back to Europe, had these issues. For me, I don't want to deal with that. I even did the PhD because of that, because I wanted to see where is this cause, and somehow the issue is bigger. It's not just a company, it's not just a team, it's really like society type of expectations where this corporate is mostly run money-based focus and stakeholder focus, and forgetting about the human side of it. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with my own life, because it is a country, I mean, this is maybe a story that I'm telling myself, but Albania is a country where you don't have any opportunities, even though I've lived more than 20 years abroad and I'm way more educated and experienced than needed. But if you compare the salaries, is really not where I want to be, because I do feel the value that I give, it's not matching the payment. But beyond the payment itself is leadership part of it, that it's not where it needs to be. And this has happened in other companies, in other countries as well. And I'm just done with it. Like when you do many years of research for a PhD, and when you write 200 plus pages on corporate culture and how leaders should influence this culture and care about the people so everyone can think of a way of working where things get improved daily and have that mindset at community level, you cannot go back. You cannot go back to, I'm not saying to a corporate role, because I'm open to that, but I cannot go back to bullshit. I cannot go back to people who don't care. I recently quit a job that was very well paying just because it was not where it needs to be. And that's where I quit, even though I had no plan B and I'm still without a job. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going back to any job where people are wasting my time and each other's time from a human perspective. Do I have a plan B? No. Why I'm doing these videos? I think if I go back to childhood, I've always been a person who writes. I used to write poetry. I used to be presenting at schools. I used to be a student ambassador, so always a person talking. I loved radio, and I love creating. I'm a Pisces. I love video making. I love storytelling. It was actually one of my favorite styles in leadership when I went through grad school. Touching people's emotions. And not just because I feel like I want to touch your emotions, I just feel like you want to have somebody around, to have a space where you feel heard and where you feel like there is more people like you who might be going through something similar. Right now, I do this because I just love sharing and I hope it helps somebody, but I also love the process of creation itself, so it keeps me excited. I think as human beings, we're born to create, and not everyone has to create YouTube. You can create in your own ways. It doesn't have to be a special art of some kind. The process of creating whatever that is to you and it means something to you, it's really important to keep you going. I read many books in my life. I'm a bookaholic, and maybe at some point I'll talk about books. But there is one of them that particularly remains my favorite, and that is the book Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. He wrote about his own process of writing this book and how he was in the Holocaust concentration camp. What kept him going, even though his whole family died because of that situation that time, was the fact that they had destroyed his work when he went to the camp. And what kept him going was the desire and passion to write about this work, which is about what keeps you alive. And that to him is about your passion. What are you driven to? And some people have a hard time with that. Initially, when I came back to Albania, it felt like, oh my God, I don't belong here. Why should I not have a job? I'm so qualified. But recently, I don't experience that with a rush anymore. I try to listen to the silence. I try to listen to why is this happening. Of course, I'm also the one making these choices to remove opportunities that are not in alignment with me, and just listen and see where this goes. I feel there is something bigger that I need to give to this life, and that is something that I've also experienced today as I was in that funeral. I felt like this person has lived such a beautiful life, I would say, in all sorts of values he had been sharing, and I felt like writing a poetry to him. He's not that close to me, but I felt like writing a poetry. And as you see from the silence that I'm experiencing these days, the creation is coming back to me. And I wrote a poetry about him, for him as a soul, a human being through a soul. Some souls come through a body experience, a human body experience, and some souls just stay as souls, because that's how I felt this person was, because I didn't even feel this person died. Like, I really was asking there, can we check on him again, because his energy was just so positive, just felt like he's sleeping, and I felt like he's just gonna wake up. I felt like hugging this person, and I was not his daughter, and at the same time I felt like hugging. I felt like this person has given such a pure energy and value add to people around him that I want to be remembered like that. And this can certainly not happen if I just accept jobs that makes no sense, where people are not treating as human beings. And this is not something that I want for those people as well. And I try my best to find ways to be around people who feel that way and see how I can support, even though it's not clear to me how I'm going to do that yet. But if you see my shorts, they are very like light and kind of funny, and some bites of my life, and more into the creation side from an artistic visual standpoint. But my longer videos are deeper. I love talking about these things because I think we need to discuss and not just like swipe. That constant swiping can be nice in a light moment. We need to have that. But I also want to connect with you in a more deeper level, where we take that space for ourselves instead of just getting distracted from this constant 30 seconds, maximum 1 minute, and not even 50 seconds sometimes type of attention. So I do hope this message goes somewhere, or it triggers in you something that will be helpful, maybe at some point in life. But I just felt like sharing that I have no clue where I'm going as well, and we'll find out. I think we'll be in good hands as long as we trust the energy and the universe. I hope you have a good life. Take care until next time.